Hi, everybody, and welcome to a New Year special battle report. The Prime Brothers versus Eternal Wardens. This is the test of time. The Prime Brothers patrol should have reached their position by now, but somehow they kept wandering in circles. The thick fog clouded their vision, but it also seemed to disturb their minds. Something was very wrong. Suddenly, eerie lights cut through the fog, and when the Prime Brothers could see clearly again, they found themselves in new surroundings with a group of golden warriors approaching. This was not only a different place, but also a different time. The Prime Brothers have taken cover in the right side of this strange battlefield. And the leader of the group is a Prime Master, armed with Master Heavy Pistol and Energy Sword and the special ability Combat Shield. Then he has an Elite Raider with a Master Heavy Pistol as well, two Assault Prime Brothers with Heavy Pistols and Energy Swords, and two Prime Brothers with Auto Rifles. All the Prime Brothers are fearless, and besides that, the Elite Raider is also furious. The Eternal Wardens are led by a Warden Knight. He is furious and he is armed with heavy hand weapon. Then he has a group of Guardians. They are armed with heavy spears and have the counter ability. With him he has two Wardens armed with heavy hand weapons, and finally a Warden Shooter armed with hand weapon and rapid heavy crossbow. All the Eternal Wardens are fearless, and the Wardens, as well as the Warden Knight, all have the Furious ability. And I should mention that the Warden Knight has a tough value of 6. This battle will last 4 rounds, and then we will see who will pass and win the test of time when two different ages collide in battle. The Eternal Wardens will roll the yellow dice in this battle report, the Prime Brothers the blue dice. So let's roll off, and a good roll for the Wardens, but they are beat by the Prime Brothers. Let's go to round number 1. The Elite Raider will activate first. He will move 3 inches up to the roof of this building and take cover. And he will be in shooting range for a target here, so he can fire his Master Pistol. He will need rolls of 4, 2 shots, and he will fail to hit anything here in the first activation. Next up, one of the Wardens. The Wardens only have 1 unit with a ranged weapon, so they will have to get closer to this strange blue enemy. The Prime Brothers are also efficient in close combat, but they have ranged weapons here. A Prime Brother will aim his auto rifle at the Warden. He will hit with rolls of 3, 2 shots, and one of them will hit. It's AP nothing, so the Warden must block with a roll of 4, and he fails, so he's hit by the auto rifle, but the Warden has a tough value of 3, so he takes 1 wound. Next up, the group of Guardians here. They are dangerous because of their spears and the counter ability, so no matter if they charge or they are charged, they will still attack first. Next up, this Assault Brother. He can move 6 inches, advance, and then he can fire his heavy pistol. It's only 1 shot, but he can see a target and he will aim and misfire. No hits. And everybody on the battlefield can see that the Warden Knight is something very special and dangerous, and he knows it himself. He rushes 12 inches closer to the Prime Brothers. He cannot charge or hit or do anything, but his presence alone will strike fear into the hearts of the brothers. Luckily for them, they are fearless, so this Prime Brother will aim his auto rifle at the Warden Knight and shoot. He will hit nothing. They should have an advantage with their ranged weapons, but they haven't been successful so far. Instead, the only Warden with ranged weapons will target the elite raider on top of the building. So 2 shots hitting on force, and it's a double one again. Nobody can hit anything, apparently. They will have to get in close, and that's exactly what this Assault Prime Brother will do. He will charge the Warden Knight. He's armed with Energy Sword, and he has 2 attacks. If he rolls a 6, they will be rending. He needs a 3, so he will hit once with the Energy Sword. It's AP 1, so the Warden Knight must block with a 5, and he's not able to do that. So he will lose 1 out of his 6 hit points. But he is far from down. Now he can fight back, and he has not fought before, so he will strike with his weapon 4 times, but he will hit only once, luckily for the Prime Brother. His heavy hand weapon is AP 1, so the Prime Brother must roll a 3. They have great defense, but it's still not enough. He will take 1 wound, and that will take him down. The first Prime Brother to bite the dust. He will have to roll on the wound chart. A roll of 5 or more will take him out, but a 4 it is, so he is stunned at the feet of the Warden Knight. And he is very exposed. The second Warden is within charge range, so he will move 12 inches, charge the Assault Prime Brother, and by doing so, immediately take him out. So the first casualty, an Assault Prime Brother, will leave the battle. The Prime Master cannot make any sense of this strange battle, but he will aim his Heavy Master pistol at the Warden. The Warden is already wounded. He will have 2 shots. He will hit on 3s, and he will hit with both of them. AP 1. The Warden must roll 5s now. If he fails them both, he will go down. But he will make one of them. And he will now have 1 wound left. He has 2 wounds out of his 3. And that concludes round number 1. Both these forces are shocked at what is in front of them. The Golden Warriors face strange firepower and strange armor, and the Prime Brothers cannot believe their eyes. It's round 2. And in this round, the Wardens will activate first, because they finished first. And this Warden will charge against a Prime Brother, and his heavy hand weapon will have 2 attacks, and he will need 4s, but he's really looking for 6s, because then he will get another hit, because he is furious. But only 1 regular hit it is, and it will take a 3 to block, and my god, the powerful armor fails yet again, and this Prime Brother will go down. He will roll a 1 on the wound chart, so he is stunned. But what happens with that armor? The ancient weapons will penetrate them with ease. Now this Assault Prime Brother will charge the Warden. 2 attacks with Energy Sword. He will fail 1 and hit with the other. It could be enough. It's AP 1. The Warden must block with a 5, and he does not. So he will take his 3rd wound and go down. So the roll on the wound chart. And it's a roll of 4. It's not enough to knock him out. The Prime Brother will move back in disbelief that they can't take these Golden Warriors out. And that leaves an opportunity to the Warden Knight. He will charge the stunned Prime Brother, and he will take him out. So now the Prime Master is forced to focus his attention on the Warden Knight, so he will charge him. And he will attack twice with his Energy Sword. And he will hit with both of them. Not rolls of 6, that would have been rending, but it's still AP 1. The Warden Knight will save 1 of the attacks, and another one will wound him, so he now has 2 wounds. But now he can fight back. He will need force with 4 attacks, and he will hit with 3 attacks. The Prime Master, though, with his combat shield, is almost impossible to wound. He will need 2s, and he will only save 1 of the 3 hits. He will take 2 wounds. That turned out to be a disastrous decision for the Prime Master. The Warden Shooter shoots again at the Elite Raider, and again he will hit absolutely nothing. The final Prime Brother moves 6 inches and aims his auto rifle at the stunned Warden. 1 hit only, and he will take him out. And he has a hit. That will immediately remove the stunned Warden. Now the 3 Guardians are close enough to be within charge range, so they will charge the Assault Prime Brothers. They have 3 heavy spears, 3 attacks. They will have to roll 4 to hit, and they will hit with all their 3 attacks, and that could be deadly. The spears are AP1. Still, they have great armor, let's see, but again the armor fails. The spears will find cracks, and what do I know in the armor? That will take the Prime Brother down. He will have to roll on the wound chart a roll of 1. He's safe for now, but he's stunned at the ground. Finally, the Elite Raider here. He will jump down from the building. He has been shot at several times, and now he will charge the Warden Knight. He knows he has already fought. He has 2 attacks, and if he rolls a 6, he will get another hit. And he does. He will hit with 1 of his attacks, and that's a furious hit, so he will get another 2 hits. And it's his close combat weapon. It's AP nothing. The Warden will block 1 of the close combat attacks, fail the other. He now goes 2, 3 wounds. And the Prime Brothers assume that any normal being would have been struck down by now, but not the Warden Knight. He can fight back instead. He has fought before, so he will need 6s to hit, but he has 4 attacks. That should be possible. And no, the Elite Raider is lucky. The Prime Brothers suffered casualties in this round, and so did the Eternal Wardens, but they look very, very strong, and the Prime Brothers are definitely under pressure. So let's see what happens in the 3rd round. And the Wardens will yet again activate first. The Warden Knight has identified his most dangerous enemy, so he will charge the Prime Master. 4 attacks, and if he rolls 6s, he will get another hit. But look at that. What a bad roll. He will hit nothing. None of his 4 attacks will hit. The Prime Master cannot believe that he evaded the heavy hand weapon, and he can now strike back. He will need 3s, and he is unable to focus enough to hit with them both. He will hit with 1 of them, and the Warden Knight will take another wound. He's up to 4 now. That could be the opportunity the Prime Brothers are looking for. Now this Prime Brother will fire his auto rifle into the Guardians, and he will hit with both of them. It's AP nothing, so they will need 4s, and they will block 1 of the shots. So 1 Guardian is dead. The Prime Master turns around, and he also aims his pistol at the Guardians, trying to take them out once and for all. He has 2 shots, and he will hit with both of them. Again, the Guardians must roll 5s to block the shot. And there is 1 good defense roll. Another Guardian is immediately removed, but still 1 is left. And that is bad news for the stunned Assault Prime Brother. The Guardian will charge the stunned unit and remove him. So who can change the tide of a battle? Well, the answer for the Prime Brothers must be the Elite Raider here, and he will charge the Warden Knight. He has 2 close combat attacks, but he's furious, so if he rolls 6s, and we have 2 sixes. So that will give him 4 hits against the Warden. They are AP nothing. The Warden will block them with defense rolls of 4, and he will have to block at least 3 of them. Otherwise, he will finally run out of hit points. Now, let's see the defense roll. The Warden Knight is under pressure, and that does not look good. Let's put all the dice into the frame here and see what happens. And with the final die out in the open, only 1 blocked. So he will take 7 wounds and go down. A roll on the wound chart of 4 or more will eliminate him, and I don't believe it, the elite raider out of all the Prime Brothers on the battlefield took out the Warden Knight. Immediately, this Warden will react and charge the Raider. 2 attacks. And no hits. The Raider is still alive. He can fight back, but he's fatigued, so he will have to roll 6s. But it is possible. No, he will not hit anything, and the Warden will move back 1 inch. Finally, the shooter has a clear line of sight to the Prime Master. 2 shots. He will hit on a roll of 4, and he hasn't really hit anything yet. Unbelievable. He really fails in style. That was the end of the 3rd round. None of the forces are yet down to half strength, but if they lose just 1 more unit, they will go below and be forced to take morale tests. Remember, both of these forces are fearless. Let's go to the 4th and final round. With the Warden Knight eliminated, the Prime Master can now focus on the Guardian here. It would be most efficient for him to charge him, but he has the counter ability. Instead, he will shoot, and he will be right on target. Yet again, the Guardian must block with rolls of 5. And he will block both shots. That shield is really absorbing all kinds of damage. The Guardian stands proud. And now for the 2nd time, the Warden will charge the Raider. 2 attacks, he will hit on 4s. A roll of 6 will give him yet another hit, but he will have 2 hits, and that could be too much for the Raider to handle. He will have to block 2 heavy hand weapon hits, and no, this time he's not able to block anything. He will go down with 2 wounds and a complicated roll on the wound chart. But he will survive. He's stunned. So it does not look good for the Prime Brothers. Now this brother will aim his auto rifle at the Guardian. 2 shots. 1 will hit. AP nothing. The Guardian, who defended everything, will fail his defense roll this time. So he will go down as the final Guardian in the group and take 1 wound. And he will be forced to roll on the wound chart. It says 6. So finally, a bullseye shot. And the proud Guardian will vanish. The Warden shooter has moved closer. He has advanced 6 inches and he fires his crossbow at the Prime Master. And finally, he hits twice. And the shots are AP 1. So let's see if the Prime Master can come up with defense rolls. He will have to block both hits, otherwise he will go down with his final wound, and he is not able to block one of the shots. He takes the final wound and goes down. And he will roll on the wound chart. It's not enough to take him out, but he is stunned now. And the Prime Brothers are down to half strength here at the end of the round. First, the Elite Raider will get back up, so he's no longer stunned. And at the end of the round, morale tests will be made. And first, the Prime Master is stunned. He will automatically fail the morale test and he will leave the battle. So next up, the two remaining Prime Brothers. They have a rather good quality, and the Raider here will pass easily with a 6. And he's also fearless, but that was not necessary. The other Prime Brother with a 6 as well. They are both in very good condition. Now the Warden here, he will need a roll of 3. And he gets a 4. He will also pass the morale test. Finally, the Warden Shooter, he will fail his morale test. He is fearless, so he needs a 4 now. And he's not able to get that as well, so he will leave the battle. This test of time battle is over. The fog and the eerie lights will appear once again and transport the Prime Brothers back to their own time. And after the brutal battle with the Golden Warriors, they definitely have something to think about. So who actually won the test of time? Well, the Prime Brothers have the most points left on the battlefield, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Who do you think won the test of time? Thanks very much for watching this battle report. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll join me for future Bat Reps.